Hi you guys, it's Suzi Petrozzi here, and I thought that I would share something pretty pertinent at this point in time that I think you can take into your lives more consciously to really improve the quality of your own life, to improve your own sense of hope, and as well as inspiration and just a general sense of optimism. And I want to start by talking about a term that in psychology we call the locus of control. And what that essentially means is how you attribute your success or what happens in your life, whether it be success or failure or anything else. So if you attribute it to your skills, your capabilities, working hard, if you attribute all that to things that are within you, then you have what we call an internal locus of control. But if you attribute what happens in your life to things that are outside of you, so it's I don't know, other people, external conditions, then you have what we call an external locus of control. And so whilst the COVID-19 is predominantly an external locus of control in the sense that we as a whole, as a collective, didn't really have control over that coming out, the virus spreading, there are so many ways that we can refocus to an internal sense of control. In other words, looking at how and where can we have more of control in our life in a way that is not all pervasive, in a way that doesn't become obsessive and unhealthy. So an example may be, if watching news often and watching news from certain media channels makes you feel pretty down, despondent, and pretty hopeless about the situation, well, then the obvious one around that is that you limit how often you watch news, which channels, where you get your news from, and even maybe time of the day, like not watching it in the morning and first thing in the morning and last thing at night, because our minds are so impressionable because we're waking up or we're going to bed and we're tired. So that's just one example. Another example may be, yes, okay, washing your hands and being protective, keeping safe, keeping a distance, specifically in terms of physically how we can do that. But then another, for me, my area of expertise and what I'm absolutely passionate about is what can we do on that internal emotional level when it comes to maintaining that internal locus of control, so that we can feel more hopeful, that we can feel more inspired, engaged about what is this all here to teach us. And so for me, one of the things that I continue to look at is, because I'm at home with my families, look at how can I continue to respond differently to situations? How can I be more patient? How can I change things around? How can I set new structures, rules, boundaries? Well, not just me, but certainly as a family. And also the level of conversation. How can we have a different level of conversation around this? All of those are internally driven levels of control, because we're impacting that level of change. So within all of this that's happening, yes, we don't know when it's going to stop, when we're going to relax the social isolation rules or social distancing. But I think that what we do within that is what really counts, without even thinking about maybe at this point, when is it going to stop? And yes, on the one hand, we may have to think about that pending business planning, all that kind of stuff. But I think that what's really relevant, for me at least, what makes such a difference is how we can create that increased sense of control within a world where we don't know what's happening from day to day sometimes. Sometimes things seem more promising, then the next day things are not so promising. And so in those situations, what are you doing? What kind of What kind of changes are you already making within your life? And look at that, it's so powerful to have conversations with others around how things have changed for them as a result of having to, social distance, having to stay at home. And it's incredible, it's so beautiful to hear these stories, families connecting, spending more time together, playing more board games, having more fun with the kids, kids sleeping in, not having to tell the kids hurry up. I mean, that's just specific in that situation around family time, but I'm sure there are so many other ways that we're starting to innovate, certainly within business domains, but even relationship, even home life, how we're living, being creative around how to accommodate from working from home. So I wanted to leave you with that and also encourage you to think about how you can create control within your own life by looking at, hang on, you can actually instill a lot more control over the current situation that perhaps what you think you may.